Nah, just kidding. I'm not summoning Salt. Yo, what's going on, guys? AmazingGamer99 here, and today I want to show off my journey to getting world record for Charlie Murder new game speedrun. A couple days ago, I was thinking about possible games I could speedrun considering my skill level. I wanted to find a game I enjoyed playing, but also, one, having something in it I could actually speedrun, and two, not having insanely optimized runs filled with immense skill and game-breaking glitches. I thought, and that's when I decided to check out the speedrun.com leaderboards for Charlie Murder, one of my childhood games and something I talked about on this channel not too long ago. So with Charlie Murder being the game I was going to speedrun, I went into the game with zero prep for the run. Not only have I never speedran Charlie Murder before, but also the last time I played this game was 10 goddamn years ago. But I was filled with determination to get this record. Also, before I dive into all my attempts of this category, let me explain what new game means. The new game category means you have to start the game fresh. I'm talking brand new level 1 character and a brand new world. The time starts when you first select your character and ends when you defeat the Angel of Chaos. Also, every category for Charlie Murder has to be the true ending, so just keep that in mind. With all that said, let's hop into the attempts. So the first attempt at this run was purely for me to understand the mechanics of this game and the route to take, because, again, I haven't played this game in well over 10 years. There were obviously a lot of things from the games I vaguely remembered, due to me playing it a ton as a child and me doing research for the game for another video. With this being my first ever run for this speedrun, the only strategy I really had was to just ignore everything that I could and try my best to defeat the bosses and enemies the fastest way possible. Whether that be by throwing them into spikes or electrical poles, or by pure raw damage. That was pretty much it. I didn't even have a clue on what upgrades to focus on, which skills to get, or even how long the game was. All I knew was the record was 3 hours, 14 minutes, and that's what I was shooting for. I also knew that the record wasn't all too optimized since he dies around 4 to 5 times throughout his run. So I knew there was some leeway, even for someone as new as me. The first real boss we faced off against is King Tepes, and he usually isn't an issue if you've played the game recently. Yeah, I really struggled with him and almost died once during the fight. It takes me a good while, but I am able to take him down without a death. Ideally, you don't want any deaths in a speed run, but as I said before, the record has some deaths in it already, so 1 or 2 won't hurt a time all too much. After the boss, we encounter our first of many unskippable flashback minigames. These rhythm game segments are pretty much just glorified cutscenes, since you don't gain or lose anything for hitting or missing every note, but we still play them because it's fun. Another thing slowing down the run in the beginning is me just not knowing any of the controls. Hold on, do I? Fuck, wait, which one is it? Which one? Oh, we can't actually get this. Give me this one. But it's okay, and we move straight on to our first infinite ammo section. I'm not sure what to call these parts of the game, but these little mini games, I guess we could call them, are actually really fun since we get to destroy a bunch of stuff with our unlimited ammo. However, because I'm playing dumb here, we actually do suffer our first death of this run. And I'm dead. The death isn't all too bad since we learn to take the segment of the game slower, and we don't actually have to run too far to get right back into the action. I did end up learning my lesson from the first time, and taking it a lot more safely, both defeating the bus full of ninjas and ending it with a good amount of health, which is a plus. I waste no time and quickly make my way into the next area, being the cemetery, where our second boss of the run is waiting for us at the end. Shortly after entering the cemetery, I make a huge time-saving discovery. If I can ignore them, I will. Oh, okay. So, you can ignore those. This is a big find. This will save us a lot of time in the long run, since it takes us a good while to defeat these enemies. So, being able to just walk right past them will cut down a lot of time. We try our best to speed through the rest of this next section and do pretty decently. I do take a couple hits from the little shadow girls, but it's not the biggest time loss in the world. Besides that though, this part was overall done fairly quickly, and we can already face off against the boss, CIRCE BATHORY. And honestly, we finished the fight at a good pace too. Sure, it could have been done a bit faster, but for a first attempt, this wasn't bad at all. As soon as she was taken down, we can enter the fence that was in front of us the whole time. This fence is the entrance to the first out of the 5 body parts we need to collect, the heart. Each body part can be found in various secret entrances and all contain a boss at the end, which you have to kill first to get the body part. In the case of the heart, our boss is... What the fuck is that? The gory mound. Ew, disgusting. I know it should be obvious that he would be easy since he's the first we encounter, but truly, this boss was super easy and dies within seconds of appearing. It legit takes us about half a minute to kill him, where it took us a couple minutes to take down the previous 2 bosses. Once we defeat the boss, the body part that we were supposed to collect will spawn. Now, since it's my first time playing in a while, I thought you had to take a picture of the part to collect it, but as I find out later on, you can actually jump on it to collect it faster. I quickly make my way to the next infinite ammo minigame, being the fight with the Sasquatch. This section is actually really easy if you can mash well, since mashing the fire button is actually faster than holding it down. Crazy with it. I don't know. Oh fuck! I don't know if you could hear that my mashing, bro, but that was crazy. That was crazy mashing, bro. Next up on our list of bosses to take down is Beelzebul. A lot of the boss fights early on are not all that difficult, and this one is no exception. The fight could have 100% been done faster, but it didn't pose a real challenge or any danger to the run. Obviously later on, bosses do get harder with having more health, doing more damage, and overall having a higher defense. But let's appreciate how easy the bosses are now, and the fact that we're not suffering. Another rhythm game section is up next, and again, this is just a glorified unskippable cutscene, so I won't go over any more of these later on, since they're all just mini breaks in the run. The ink shop after this is where I'll pick up our 3rd tattoo of the run, being Heal Aura. It's nice to have since it's just a passive heal during fights, and who doesn't love that? I make my way up to the top of the castle using a grappling hook and using a clothes hanger to fight birds? This part never made any sense to me, and it still doesn't, even after speedrunning this game. But same goes for these minigame sections. This will be the last one I talk about and kind of just mention the rest since they're all very similar to each other and not much happens. Once we make it up to the top, the first huge hurdle in the run reveals himself. Phantom Paul. You know how I was just talking about the bosses still being easy and not an issue? Yeah, Phantom Paul kind of throws that out the window because we died to this man not once. I'm dead. If you don't... Not twice. Give me the heart, give me the heart, give me the heart, please. You're joking! But 3 whole times. I'm dead. You're joking! I am finally able to defeat him on the 4th attempt, but man, was he just a difficulty spike for no reason. You're one. Oh! Yes! I did justify these deaths in my head the whole time by thinking, hey, it was okay since the world record had deaths in it, but he only had 4. So I'd have to play perfectly from here on out for a chance at the record, which, let's be honest, isn't happening, but that's okay because who really expected me to get record on my first run on this game? I didn't, that's for sure. Anyways, Phantom Paul tricks us onto the totally not a trapdoor platform, and we fall into the sewer where we absolutely zoom to the next boss. Position, like angles, I don't know how to say it, but the loneliest gist, more like the loneliest piss. Got him, oh shit. I'm starting to realize this game has a ton of bosses that are all very close to each other. I'm not complaining though, because the bosses can be fun to take down, like this one. After the whole ordeal with Phantom Paul, it's nice to just have a boss that I can easily take down without a problem. However, this fight isn't over just yet, since we still have to take down that scientist dude from earlier. Now, this fight isn't hard at all, it's just really annoying because the only 2 ways you can damage him is by throwing arms at him or team attacks. But the issue with team attacks is, the only 2 good bandmates you can get are Rex or Lester. Tommy and Kelly are quite literally useless here since they can't even reach the boss. Rex is pretty bad, but Lester is amazing. I do get Lester here, but since it's my first run, I don't really realize how lucky I got and waste the opportunity to defeat him right then and there. I do end up taking him down in good time thanks to Lester, and we push on from here. I do this little surf game and land ourselves onto a pirate ship filled with Discord mods. Surely the boss is a truly big and buff pirate captain, right? Hey, it's a Discord mod. This big Oscar the... It's a Discord mod. Oh, it's the King Discord mod. Whatever, we'll just take him out with these and try our best to hold our nose while doing so. He kind of has really bad breath. Also, it took me a while to realize why we're fighting no-life people on a pirate ship, but get this, it's because they pirate music. Mind blown, oh my god. We easily take down Mr. Big Oscar here and move on with the run. You're one. Yes. One thing that does bother me in every run is the fact that mini bosses are based on RNG and can literally spawn wherever they want, like right here. They're just really annoying to deal with and waste a bit of time. Moving past these enemies, we encounter and defeat a giant kraken. Well, we did die once. He's one. Not the shark! What do you mean obliterated? I died, but cleared it? But the death was stupid, so let's not dwell on that too much, okay? After almost an entire hour, we make our way into the entrance of the next body part, being the eye. At this point in the run, I'm getting a fairly good hang of the game and all of the mechanics. Definitely a whole lot more confident now than I was at the start of this run. And because of this confidence, we already face against our next big foe. Alright, I'm smart, man. I am a problem. Beautiful Queenie. Now, I have no idea why all of the bosses that are attached to the parts are brain-numbingly easy to kill. I know this is barely the second one of this run, but trust me, all the bosses with body parts are super easy. Well, except for one of them. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that. But with that being said, by the time it took me to say all of this, we already took her down and we collect the eye. Man, if it took us over an hour between both the heart and the eye, surely the liver is far away. Oh, never mind. It's actually right here. Well, before entering this forest for the liver, we have to take this totally safe, random pill that just happens to be on this bench, then venture into the forest. This whole part of the game is really easy, so it comes to no surprise we're able to secure the kill on this brain monster thing creature. I do apologize if this commentary seems a bit repetitive at times, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm running out of ways to say the same thing in different words, since this game more or less is the same thing with different coats of paint for every section. I do promise we're almost done with the first run and can talk about the actual polished runs and all the time we save soon. I encounter a boss, take him down, speed through the next section, and at this point you guys already know the pattern. Honestly, I didn't realize how much of a pattern this game had until I was writing the script. Well, it's still a fun game, I promise. I do promise this is actually an enjoyable game. One thing about this game that I struggle with in every run is the platforming. Just look at this! You? Wait, no, In other runs, it's worse, but when it's bad, it's bad. I have improved, but it's still a struggle. I do like the amount of references this game has, like this section. Saw. It's Saw. Oh my god. Saw reference. I love the Saw series, so this was a nice little inclusion. So with the Saw trap, we just escaped. Obviously, our boss is John Kramer, right? Just kidding. He actually gets eaten by the real boss, the lady in the tatters. The gimmick in this fight is you can only see the boss occasionally, which is pretty annoying, not gonna lie. But hey, at least to nerf her a tad bit, she only has one line of health, making her one of the bosses we could take out without much time loss. There you go. Lady in the potatoes. Oh, you got them. You got her, dude. After this fight, I do one of the craziest things this run. Which one it is? We have to go to one of these BOGO marts. I'm just gonna check this one. We need to pick up. I'm so goated. The reason why this is crazy was because I knew I needed to buy an item at one of the shops, but I wasn't entirely sure which one. And as you saw, I just happened to go to the one I needed, which is insane. I get lost for a solid minute before realizing I have to enter the sewers yet again, but this time for the tooth. Also, before we get to the boss, I have to fight a bunch of rats, and a little fun fact here, the rats are my second least favorite normal enemy in this game because of the stupid command grab they do. Ugh! We do fend off the rats and faced off against the chained monstrosity. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He definitely looks like a monstrosity. Trust me, this is another easy... And I'm dead. Obliter... Okay, definitely not getting the record here. Okay. One, this was never gonna be a record run. I don't know what I was talking about in the live stream. Two, in all fairness, I did die to a stupid rat and not the boss. So, it's whatever. We run it back and... die again. You dare even try it. Don't... What? No worries, run it back and again, we die. Man. Okay, the only thing I can... I, on my life, pressed... I pressed X, man! I'm pressing X! Just wanted to show the full clip there to demonstrate just how awful I am at the platforming in this game. But not to worry, as 4 times the charm here and we get our tooth. With 4 out of the 5 body parts collected, I have a feeling we are close to the end of the game here, and spoiler alert, we are. The last part we need is the brain, which we can get after running through this mall. We have to stop and fight these 2 huge bosses, but I did find a funny piece of tech. Look. Look, wait, he's doing the damage for me. Yeah, they can actually do damage to each other, which helped out a lot in this fight. That's not the only boss fight in this area, as we have to go against 2 previous bosses. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but you can actually finish this fight a lot quicker if you just focus all your damage on the girl, because this fight ends when she's close to dying. This trend of the back-to-back bosses doesn't stop here, however, since we have to face off against this truck driver who doesn't pose much of a threat to me, to be honest. Also, remember that little item I bought earlier at that BOGO Mart? Well, this is why we bought it, because the next and last part is underwater, and this relic allows us to breathe underwater so we can actually go get it. And let me tell you, this section is probably one of the most frustrating and biggest difficulty spikes in the run, right next to Phantom Paul. The first death was especially sad since the boss was so low health. What did I say about obliterated? What did I say? Same thing with the second one. Don't, please, stop. It's not funny, it's not funny. Fuck! By the third death, I was just defeated on the inside. I did that for our sins. I said I would cry on stream. Look. With the 4th and final death, my will was truly broken at this point. Dude! I had to get through all of the fish people and claim the brain, which I finally did on my 5th attempt, so hooray. Now, let's take a wild guess. Does Chris get a break from being frustrated? If you guessed no, you'd be right, because I got stuck on this stupid puzzle for 7 whole minutes. I even went to the bathroom in the middle of it. I had to legit look up a playthrough on YouTube to get past this part. Now, I'm gonna level with you guys, and I'm just going to rapid fire the rest of the bosses because they are the only interesting things about this run, since the sections in between are more or less just filler. So our next big baddie is, yeah, see, look, and he's like a spider. Yeah, the infested roadie. There you go. Not much to say about this battle other than it's an endurance fight with how long it takes. ATV, there you go. And this is where we did Glitchy Robot. Oh my god, Glitchy Robot, Glitchy Robot. Wretch of Lights is the same deal as the Infested Roadie, as it's a long battle compared to the other fights. Oh yeah, and we also take a really frustrating death here. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts, guys. Thank you for the roses. Wait. What? At least I didn't have to fight him a second time. The second to last boss we face is... What the? There's a boss here. Vlad the Eternally Gold. I thought it was like a spider. Now, Vlad's pretty annoying, as he can slow us down even when we do our special attacks, which are supposed to make us invincible. But other than that, it's just a test of patience, and we take him down eventually. I take 2 very sad deaths after Vlad. What the fuck? What? Okay, but why? Bring our total deaths to 15. A whole 11 more than the world record at the time. And I thought I would get record first try. Pfft. At this point, this is when I came to the sad realization. Wait, didn't finish. What? How do I... Dude, I need to get more followers. How the fuck do I do that? You see, you need to actually have all the body parts equipped to get the true ending. And for that, you need Relic 3, which allows you to equip 5 relics at the time. And there's 5 body parts. And we clearly don't have that. I tried everything I could to get followers, like killing enemies right before the boss area, killing an optional boss at the start, which yielded nothing. 16, wow, 16 followers, guys. Then I realized I get a ton of followers from the cutscene at the beginning of the final fight. So I ended up grinding that for an hour, only come to the conclusion I could not get Relic 3, so yay. Okay. Cross your fingers and hope for Relic 3. Cross your fingers and hope for Relic 3. Well, thanks for watching, guys. A waste of 5 hours. But at least we can improve on the next run, right? Now that you guys have a feel for the run as a whole, and truly understand how long this run is, I'll mainly be covering the huge time saves and some mistakes we made. But surely since we learned our lesson with the first one, we'll play better. For the most part we do, by taking out King Tepes faster compared to last run, no deaths by the ninja bus, and an overall faster CIRCE BATHORY. This run is a little different in the sense I watched a bit of the record video and kinda copied his strat of maxing out only speed and energy for our stats. This will come to bite us later. Just watch. Speaking of huge time saves though, I still have a whole 6 minutes on the heart, with both no death and overall cleaner gameplay. This just goes to show that the first run did teach me something. Our Beelzeball could have been faster, but we'll take it. It's not the biggest time loss in the world. Phantom Paul is up now, and I did take 3 deaths here, but it's fine, since he's a hard boss considering both his power and position in the run. Plus, last run we had 4 deaths, so I'm totally okay with having 1 less death because time saved is time saved. The Lonely Assist is taken down quickly, but the same cannot be said for the Scientist, who I struggled on due to getting Rex, but nonetheless he's brought down. Mr. Big Oscar is never an issue as he's also dealt with quickly. It is crazy just how much I've improved over the course of just 1 run. I promise you, I didn't even touch this game after my first attempt. Speaking of improvement, I take down the Crackhead without a death this time as I take it a whole lot slower. And just like that, we already go up against Beautiful Queenie, grab the eye and save a whopping 15 minutes! We really are playing better this run if I'm able to save that much time. The time saves don't end here as we save 26 seconds. Hey, it might not be much, but it's time saved. Now, my game sense and skills may have gotten better, but you know what's one thing that didn't? My platforming. Funny how it's the same exact spot I had issues with last time. I make it across and continue our streak of time saves. Never mind, I actually took a death here. Barely positive it's alright, since we've saved enough time so far for one extra death to be allowed here. Yep, it's definitely fine with me, definitely fine. Despite the major time save, I take yet another death shortly after. Look, I said I improved. I never claimed I became a god at the game just in one playthrough or anything. I don't think that would even be possible. Recovering from the death, I take down the duo by focusing all my damage on BATHORY and make my way to the brain. Great! Another death. But at least this is the only one before we save. Look, let's look how much time I saved. Look, 40 fucking minutes, bro. Holy guacamole, that's a lot of time saved. I was really surprised. I couldn't even get the words out of my mouth. I was stuttering like crazy. I really didn't think our deaths cost us that much time, but they clearly did since we saved over 40 minutes. With the hype of the 40-minute time save, I keep this train moving with taking out both the infested roadie and the Wretch of Lights without any deaths along the way. However, since we're on the topics of deaths in this run, you guys remember how earlier I said us upgrading only speed and energy would come to bite us later? Well, that later is now. Since we have no defense or attack, I get one shot by almost everything while doing little to no damage in return. So the result of this is many deaths. I died a total of 13 times in the span of an hour, meaning any of the time we saved previously was just completely thrown out the window at this point. After all of these deaths though, I was ready to call it quits. Guys, I'm gonna be 100% honest, I don't think I want to keep going with this. But then this happened. Like, holy shit, you're raiding with a party of 5, what the fuck? Yo, thanks for the raid, bro. Yeah, we got raided and I couldn't just let the raid party down, so I decided to finish the run. We'll finish the run. We got pretty close with the attempt after this, but died extremely close to the end. The next attempt is where we actually ended the run at 4 hours and 37 minutes. And we slay the final boss and finish this once and for all. Get him! And ladies and gentlemen, that is time. With a time of 4 hours, 37 minutes, 47 seconds, and 84 milliseconds. We complete the Charlie Murderer new game speedrun. Let's see what awaits us in the next runs. For these runs, I streamed these all on the same stream because I was genuinely planning on streaming for 24 hours until I got this record. Believe me, I was extremely determined to get the record that day. But the reason I'm lumping these two runs into the same segment is because there's not much to talk about, if anything. Run 3, I ended at the 1 hour 6 minute mark because the run as a whole fell off, as I wasn't killing bosses nearly as quick, and we took a death, which I didn't want to have any, so I decided to reset. And run 4 was killed off as soon as it started because I got the wrong upgrade, so I didn't see a point in continuing the run. Now, the moment you have all been waiting for. The world record run. I went into this run not even thinking. I had just reset the previous run and was just in the mindset of I have to get this record. I wasn't feeling nervous or anything close to it at this point, only pure determination. To be honest, I wasn't feeling all too confident in the beginning. Our King Tempest fight was pretty slow, Ninja Bust could have been done quicker, CIRCE BATHORY being taken out slower than usual, and just generally not being in a good mood due to the last 2 runs not being successful. Despite all of this though, I kept telling myself I had to at least get a PB, so I ignored all of this and kept playing. I barely saved 11 seconds getting the heart, and Beelzeball was done in average time, but the run started changing for the better when I pulled this off. That's right, my first ever deathless Phantom Paul. We came from dying to him 4 times, then 3 times, but this time not a single death occurred. This was the moment I knew the run wasn't dead. I didn't lose momentum and achieved the fastest lonely assist fight I have ever pulled off so far. I may have been slow at the start of the run, but I have only done everything faster since. I could have done the scientist fight faster, but there's only so much I can do when the RNG we get is bad, with getting Rex instead of Lester. But considering the bad RNG, it was done pretty fast. Something I do differently this run will affect how the rest of the speedrun plays out. I get the Cyclone tattoo here. Why, you may ask? Well, something I found from our second attempt was this ability is absolutely a huge time saver. Not only does it give us our team attack instantly, but it also takes down enemies extremely quickly. And thanks to this speed, Big Oscar is taken out just like that. I might not have a split up for it yet, but something to note is by this time in our first run, we were barely defeating Phantom Paul. So we are ahead by quite a bit. Without any hesitation, I spawn Beautiful Queenie, and as quickly as she's spawned, she's defeated as we collect the eye, saving a grand total of 11 minutes. By this point, the nerves are getting to me like crazy, because not only are we ahead of my current PB by 11 minutes, but I also have not taken a single death yet, which is extremely uncharacteristic of me. I try my best to shake off these nerves and claim the liver, while saving over a minute in the process, whether it be our lack of deaths, better gameplay, and game sense, or the fact we have the Cyclone ability now, we are saving a lot of time. The lady in the tatters follows the trend of being a piece of cake and goes down without a fight. Just to be safe, when I go to buy the relic for the brain, I also make sure to fill my entire inventory up with Vita bars so we don't end up dying later. After stocking up, it's time for the infamous sewers, and I pull off the unthinkable. Not only did I hit the one cycle, but I also managed to grab the grenade without falling once. This is just concrete proof that I am fully locked into this run. If you want even more proof of this, here's how much time we saved by easily taking down the chained monstrosity. The same can be said for Bathory, the Roadie, and the Gory Mound. Surprisingly enough, I didn't actually struggle taking down the things before the Gory Mound, and because of this, our total amount of time saved comes out to... Yup, I am now officially a whole 32 minutes ahead of my PB, and to say I was nervous would be a huge understatement. I still have Vlad the Eternally Cold and the Angel of Chaos to take down, which are two huge hurdles in the run, but I must suppress these feelings if I want this record. Which I do, and the Infested Roadie is taken down in, well, it's the Infested Roadie. There is really no fast way to take him down. After him, I make a quick upgrade to our Cyclone by grabbing the Poison Cyclone tattoo. With the newly acquired Poison Cyclone, we make quick work of the Wretch of the Lights, and we become one step closer to claiming this record as our own. The area before Vlad can also be a major hassle at times, but luckily this time wasn't one of those, as I take my time making sure I take out all the enemies. I finally come face to face with Vlad and try my best to take the fight as slow and safely as possible, because at this point, I don't want to sacrifice the run to save a couple of extra seconds. With Vlad taken down, we can finally go up against Phantom Paul and Smokula for the final time. Entering the portal, I was beyond filled with nerves. I wasn't talking at all, and I was extremely focused on the game. The area before the Angel of Chaos is also extremely dangerous for me, considering this was kinda the place that made me consider quitting my run on my second attempt. Playing extremely cautiously, I make my way to the Angel of Chaos. All that's left now is to defeat him without making a single mistake and claim my record for my own. Unfortunately, I did let my nerves get the better of me, and I'd take my first and only death of the run. If it weren't for that death, this would have been an extremely clean run. It's fine, as I use this opportunity to stock up on healing items before heading back. Once I make my way back to the Angel of Chaos, I make sure not to play overly aggressive. For the most part I do, with taking out the first phase, then the second, and now it all comes down to the last phase. Despite all we've been through the past 4 runs, I put all my trust into my skills here, and at long last, managed to pull it off. There were many moments where we laughed together, cried together, and overall got frustrated, but all that would be worth it in this moment right here. Yes! 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 With the excitement in my voice, I'm proud to call us the world record holder of the Charlie Murder new game speedrun. I'm sorry, what's that? I'm sorry, one more time, what? Okay, thank you. Yeah, the record was taken from me 2 days later. What? Yeah, it does suck that the record was taken from us before I could get this video edited and out, but, you know, that sort of stuff just happens in speedrunning. I do plan on getting my record back eventually and have already tried several times. That's one of the main reasons why this video hasn't gone out sooner, so my apologies. This run has shown me that I can actually enjoy speedrunning games if I have a fighting chance, and that I can improve in games if I really put my mind to it. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it's on the longer side, but I really didn't know how else I was going to make this video shorter. So if you stuck around for the whole thing, thank you. It really does mean a lot to me. It actually means the world to me. Also, if it wasn't obvious, I streamed all of these attempts over on Twitch. So if you enjoyed it or maybe want to be featured in a future video, possibly, maybe, you should go check me out over there. The link will be in the description of this video. There's nothing else I really want to add other than thank you guys for the amount of support recently. My previous video reached 3,000 views and we reached 170 subs. That's insane to me. So really, thank you guys so much. And I promise the quality will only get better with the new videos I put out. So yeah. Also, I'm not good at ending stuff, so bye bye.